Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome everyone. We're here on day 5 out of 11 in Tallinn, Estonia for the Epbf Predator European Championships. And we're in for a treat because today we're kicking off the 8 ball, and what a match to start this morning. We have Daniel Masciol from Poland versus Germany's Tobias Bongas, who has just been crowned gold in the straight pool a few days ago. My name's Graham Hickman, and I'm here with the man, the myth, the legend, Tim de Ruyter. Morning, Tim. What a tasty match this is.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no better way to start your day off than this match, I would say. The reigning European straight pool champion, Tobias Bongas from Germany, up against, well, Daniel Masciol. I don't think he needs the introduction at this point. I think he's had plenty of success in the European Championships, also a Qatar Open champion, I believe top 3 in the World 8-Ball Championship in Puerto Rico, or it might have been the 10-Ball Open, but either way, he's on top of the game. Good match.
Yeah, this will be a battle. I think Tobias will be full of confidence after his, like you said, winning in the straight pool, and this will be one to watch closely.
Yeah, so dry break. In the 8-ball, they are allowed to break from anywhere in the break box. In the kitchen, excuse me. So there's no break box involved. So you would say the break in general is a little bit easier than in the 10-ball division. So usually it's more of a break and run contest, unless the balls get a little bit scrappy. As you can see, the 8-10-2 could be causing quite some problems. He went for the solids, which might be tough. I mean, he's played a good shot there to open up the 2-ball, because that was definitely causing him some headache.
Yeah, I think it's good to get your problems. Sorry, just saying, it's good to get your problems out the way early, Tim. Right in 8-ball, try to make the table as open as possible to focus on the run out.
Yeah, for sure. And now he has a great chance to either get on the 6 or the 1. I think I would go forward to take the 1 out, but he opted to keep it more simple, probably. I mean, can float the 4 in, 6 in the corner, go from 1 to 2, and the 8 goes go to the bottom right. So especially in 8-ball, it's a little bit slower. Player usually favors the game. I mean, because they're more stable, they take more care of the cue ball, better shapes. But don't forget, we do have the shot clock on here.
Yeah, that's right, 35 seconds per shot with a 25-second extension for each player per rack. And from the break off, they do have a 60 seconds starting shot clock, which makes a bit of sense, Tim. Gives them a little bit of time to assess the rack and see what's going on. It's pretty common to have an extended shot clock at the beginning of the breaks.
Well, especially we both know that in any game you can break the balls. You can even break them well and make 2-3 balls, and it still can land very scrappy. There's no control on that, so definitely gives the players at least an opportunity to figure it out. Don't think 25 or 30 seconds is enough to do that all the time.
Yeah, it makes sense. I think, like you said, you got rid of that problem pretty quickly, and this 2-ball was in quite a good spot actually to line up nice for the 8, which does go through the gap for a nice break and run here from Tobias. So as you said, Tim, I think this will be it's all about the break 8-ball very, very heavily. So break and runs are going to be very common during this 8-ball discipline.
Yeah, definitely a good showing. Not too sure if it was a break run. I actually think it was a dry break, possibly from Martial, but still, Tobias had the first opportunity and definitely took it. And I'm assuming they racked their own, so he's about to break the balls for a possible early lead, basically, in a race to 8. Alternate break. We are not playing any funny rules like take what you make or the 8 in the opposite. Those are not the official WPA rules.
Yeah, thanks, Tim. My apologies. It was not a break and run, but a reverse clearance, if you like. You will see a bit of both of that. I think it just goes to show how important it is to make a ball on the break. It is in any discipline, but in 8-ball especially. If you don't make a ball, then controlling 8-ball is so critical.
Well, they say the one that breaks the balls the best in 8-ball is most likely to win the tournament. I mean, depends. If you're going to miss a lot of balls next to it, then no. But if you find a way to make balls, then the game is going to be so much easier. But interesting. Also a dry break for Tobias here. So basically returning the favor to Martial. Still needs to run out, but at least has a visit to the table.
Yeah, Daniel will be looking to make improvements on his recent showing in the last 2 disciplines. He went out in the last 16 in the 10-ball to Echeverria. How do you pronounce that, Tim, from Spain? Maybe I'm saying it incorrectly. You can correct me. And then he lost in the Echeverria, yeah. And then he lost in the last 32 to Nicolas Ernst from Switzerland. So he'll be looking to go a little bit deeper, and I think 8-ball is a good game for Daniel. As you said, he went really deep in some of the big tournaments, so he's definitely a danger in this event.
Well, like I mentioned before too, is that most of the polish, like in Germany, they're very similar at the moment, as in there's so many good players. There is a league where they play all disciplines. They have like a bunch of national championships and stuff where they do actually compete in straight pool, in 8-ball, in rotation games. So basically whatever kind of game they play in this European Championship, most of the Polish players will be a contender to win the tournament. And the same for the German.
Yeah, good call. There's just so many strong players in this day, and I think what you said is really important. Probably a true statement. It will all come down to the break. Sounds a bit cliche, but in 8-ball it's so critical. And as you can see here, another dry break and another reverse clearance. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this unfolds. It's one visit pool at the moment, if you can put it that way, taking the break aside, which is what we expect at this level when the balls are open.
Yeah, so 1 each. 2 dry breaks, but 2 runouts. So no balls being missed so far, like you said. And the only thing that was interesting I found is that Bongers, he actually did have a quite square hit on the break. I felt like the cue ball wasn't too much off, but if you looked at the 2 balls tracking to the side, they were not really, like one was going a little bit higher than the other, so I'm not too sure. Maybe they put some spin on the break, or not too sure what actually caused it. Let's see, he's trying to make either the 9 or the 11 in the side. The 3 and the 14 on the point have a chance to go 4 rails. And then there's the 6 and the 12, I believe, that can bank in the top corners.
Yeah, good call. I noticed that as well. Give a little bit low to the middles again this time.
Yeah, but if you also look at the cue ball, Graham, just barely got past the side. So quite some overcut. And the balls didn't really get much speed, or not enough speed to go high enough to make it to the center.
Yeah, so just settling in, I think, on the break, try to find that sweet spot, like you said, and once they find what works, you just try to rinse and repeat as much as often. But yeah, I think stripes are looking to be the ball. That 10 ball needs a little bit of attention, but it's not in a terrible position. How would you manufacture yourself to get over there, Tim? How would you see it from here?
Yeah, let me have a quick look at the table exactly, because it's a good shout. You might be able to get from the 15 into the 10, like in between, but not a big fan. I might actually try to go from the 11 right now. Like, take a small gamble, you know, you have the 14 near, so try to draw yourself into the 10, or like something similar. You could leave yourself a thin cut on the 10 ball as well. Oh, he's made things worse. That was the risk, though. I mean, there's a chance that you were going to tie up the 10, but you had to try it once. If you get plumb on the 10, this was almost guaranteed to be cleared.
Yeah, he still has a second chance, though, from the 11. Like you said, he could play this one up the long rail, then maybe the one in the side to leave an angle. He's obviously just trying to go into it, a bit risky.
Well, I did really like this, as he always had the 11 ball right after, and I think the 10 ball popped out just enough to where it still cuts.
If so, then it's a pretty good shot, so he does have an option. He might want to get rid of it as soon as he can. I'm not sure if it's convenient to play that as his last ball, but he has got a bit of an angle if he wants to do something here.
Well, one interesting thing that's going to happen too is the fact that the 8 only goes to the bottom right corner, but there's no way you're going to be so flat or so straight on the 10. So that's why he's taking the 10 out first instead of keeping it till the end. But we'll still have to cross over from the stripe on the other long rail to the left side of the 8. But we'll have to be fine. I think if he plays the 15 and gets near the center of the table, maybe a little shorter, a couple balls shorter, then it would be decent to cross over to the 8, but he's playing it the other way around. Still similar angle on the 15 needed.
Yeah, he could have went both ways there, I think. As long as he landed, like you say, a pretty good angle in the middle of the table, he just have a pretty good angle to go across to the 8 ball here. So again, pretty solid stuff so far. Nicely done. Two, 1. There we go. So it's very clear cut at the moment. One chance pool. Problems getting solved very quickly. And already Tobias has a 2-1 lead. Just to give you guys some information on, we are running 2 tables. There is a streaming table going on as we speak on table 2, where we have Max Lechner against Kaspar Matikainen, and they're currently locked on table 2. If you want to watch that one, or you can stay with Tim and myself, we do have Mark and Gethin doing commentary on table 2 as well, so choose what you prefer. Great matches this morning, Tim, to kick off on both tables, I think.
Yeah, I completely agree. If you consider the fact, I just figured out why Albin wasn't playing earlier, Albin Ushan. But he was in Indonesia for exhibition, so he flew in late together with Max Lechner. So that's 2 other top players that are, well, definitely contenders to win the title. So the more we get to the finish line, the more players actually start to show up.
Yeah, and I'm sure everyone's really happy that Albin and Max made the tournament, made the championships. But Lechner's 2-1 up at the moment on Kaspar, so very similar to this match. Nothing much in it at the moment.
Well, another dry break.
Yeah, it's interesting. You say it, Tim, you'd think with the brand new tables, they're still playing relatively okay at the moment. Yesterday we were doing the 10 ball and the balls were just flying in on quite some matches that I watched. And obviously with the 8 ball you would think you have more chance to pot a ball or more balls disappear, but that's not always the case.
Yeah, and the similar thing, like I said earlier, I think Bongers actually hit it quite square. And you can see on the layout too, it's not becoming a very scrappy layout because they are at least hitting it full enough to where it doesn't push all the balls to one side, but they need some big changes on that. The one that finds out the break is now suddenly having a big advantage in this match. Like we said earlier, the break is so important. It's showing right here in the score.
Yeah, exactly. I think what is interesting though, Tim, is if these guys can find a ball on the break, it's going to be the same scenario because it looks like they're potting and judging their patterns very well. No time at all. Daniel is just picking up these pieces, and this match is teeing up to be a very close affair potentially.
Yeah, so levels the score 2 each. No breaker runs yet.
Yeah, I think that's only
the fact that Bongers ran out the last game was kind of crazy if you consider how bad the 10 ball was positioned, and then it got worse and he still got out. That is quite impressive actually if you think about it afterwards. I might be just a rack too late to realize, but just so used to them running out.
Yeah,
but we'll have to find something on the break here.
Yeah, sorry Tim, I was just saying that's the level of today, right? We expect players to break and run even if there is problems and balls not able to be potted. They always seem to find a way to fix those problems as soon as possible. The defense is there's a ball eventually in the side and in the top, so first ball down, this will be interesting to see if anything presents itself. How's this table looking for you, Tim? There's a few clusters there, I think.
Yeah, as you can see, the 2 ball doesn't pass to the corner and it's difficult to get to the 1. The 1 might just barely go. And then the 11 ball is tied up as well, so if you go for the solids, you have no solid nearby the 1-2 to develop. And if you go for stripes, you have a better chance to get to the 11 ball. But the opening shot might be a little tough, and there's 2 balls in the bottom that are also not too available.
Yeah, I agree. Sometimes you have to take a more difficult opening shot to give yourself the best chance. I'm half wondering if that 1 ball does go in the bottom right from a certain angle. He's taking stripes anyway, but this looks like a great shot that he's found a gap there, Tim. I don't think he can avoid the solids, so he's going to probably have to... Not sure if he can... Yeah, I think I might be able to just avoid them. But either way, that 9 ball will... He's taking it now. Oh, the 1 did go. As long as, you know, as in the rule, as long as you put your ball, if your opponent ball goes in, that's also fine. But now it's wide open.
Yeah, so will still be tricky. I believe if he can get close to straight on the 13, he can play for the 12 and go 2 rails for the 11 in the same corner. I mean, it's not ideal stuff, like it's definitely things that could go wrong.
Yeah, but he has some options, I think. Like you're saying, if he lands straight on that 11, that's fine. Also the stripe at the top right, that is a ball to go around 2 cushions if he doesn't land perfect, but he does have a few options here. I think this is the right shot to definitely take this one now. And then
yeah, he definitely had to take that. I might like to play the 12 and run into the 6. Like, I mean, because you're most likely to have the 13 and the 11 ball would be open as well, and you could end up on the 11. But that's what I'm saying. Like, some players, they like to bump the balls here and there, and then some of them, they play the game real clean. I think he might have a little bit more cut on his 11.
But the angle's pretty good, I think, to come down. Yeah, it's an interesting comment you made there, Tim. It's in some players like to open balls, but then dangerous things can happen and bad things can happen when you're bumping balls. This is the thing with 8-ball, Tim, right? There's so many different options and so many different patterns. Player preference is a big part of that, but yeah, there's just so many different ways you can go generally.
Well, one thing is for sure, he found something on the break and run, and a 3-2 lead.
Yeah, I think Tobias will be hoping to do the same, see if he can get a break going. But it'd be interesting. So you think now, obviously, with Daniel, what the break that he did in this last one, he will be trying to do the same thing again. Do you think Tobias will change the break up, or will he continue what he's been doing since the start?
No, I would definitely like to switch up something. Maybe try to copy Marshall's last break or Marshall's last cue ball position, for example. Like, you don't have that much time. It's only a race to 8 and alternate break, so if you have like 2-3 dry breaks, then you could easily be down 4-0, 6-0. So in this case that's not possible, but I'm saying game wise. So let's see, probably he's gonna play a little firmer here. Yeah, more hard on the break. Nice break, good cue ball.
This looks pretty good at first glance, Tim. Balls seem to be separated quite nice. A few solids down the top, down the bottom of the table, stripes at the top, but
yeah, still there is always problems in a rack of 8-ball. Like, it doesn't really always open up to where it's easy. Like, if you can see, the 8 might not go to the bottom left, bottom right. That's the first thing I usually look at, like, what do I plan on the 8? Now, if you go for the solids, that would mean you would open up the 8 automatically. If you go for the stripes, you need a good shot to get to the 8-ball. So definitely, if you look at the beginning of the rack for him, the first 3-4 balls, they're quite easy. He opened up the 11 ball nicely there, because the 11 was tough to get to as well. But it's all gonna come down to how he gets on the 8-ball, Graham.
yeah, I think you're right. He already knew that in his mind, so he's thinking probably, I'm guessing with that striped down table, to find a path to get on the black ball. Of course it does go in the top pockets some way in shape or form. Do you think you'll try to disturb the black, Tim, or do you think you'll probably more just try to land on it position wise?
I am assuming that he's gonna play 14-10, 2 rails around the 11, try to draw straight down for the 15, to where he has like a really small angle to drop underneath and play the 8, either in the left center or top left corner pocket. I think that's the easiest. I don't think from the 15, what are you going to disturb? You might run into, like, you have to run into the 5, and that's really not gonna develop the 8 more. So, and you don't have really, you don't have any more balls nearby the bottom.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Even if he did cannon into the 5, unless he tries to open it now and draw into the 5, into the 8, but that's a bit risky. He might be playing that now just to bump the 8-ball out, but I don't think that's the wise option, because then he might have no options left.
Yeah, I definitely stay away from running into the balls when I don't have too many backup options after, unless you still have that one cluster you need to open. But in this case, it's not like the 8 doesn't go anywhere. It's more about getting on that 8.
Can you just drop this in dead weight? Play the 8 in the top?
I think so.
A bit pacey maybe.
Slightly off angle. Would have been nice to be straight, of course, but has a shot here. Would be a good return after the first break run of the match for Maciol, just the previous rack.
Yeah. Would you say this is the first real tester in the match? Because everything's been pretty straightforward, really. This is the first probably big moment. He's missed it. Oh, it's a bit wide, but yeah, pace was good, angle was good. But as you said, return, break and run 3-3. So maybe we get a bit of momentum on the break here. That was a nice finish, really, considering the position of those stripes, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Like, that's what I'm saying. Most of the people, whenever they see someone make a ball on the break, they say, oh, you know, this is easy, it should be a run out. But if you looked at all the little details he did to get to the finish line there, I would say it really wasn't laying that easy, even though all the balls were open.
Yeah, exactly. But he was definitely committed to leaving that ball at the end, and he already had that in his mind to get on the 8 ball in the top clearly, and he executed it pretty well. It was a good 8 ball, a little bit wide, but look, the ball went in. He's got one in the side again. Oh, how's that 4 ball stayed out, Tim? Goodness. Wow, that's incredible. It hit both points and just stayed there.
Yeah, I mean, that is the risk on this 8 ball break. I mean, we all know how easy or how simple it can be to make the balls in the side, but with the additional pressure or knowing that the break is starting to be more important, it's not easy to duplicate the same stroke over and over.
Yeah, exactly. I think this is one of the first breaks where both balls are kind of probably okay, because even though there's a solid tied up down there with the stripes, there is a few balls to open that up. But I'm wondering if that top stripe above the solid is potable, so he can pot that one and open the other one at the same time, saving that one over the pocket as kind of a backup ball. Yeah, just clearing the top of the table and then coming down to get the work done. Yeah, I think you probably play this 12 and then down to the 9 ball, Tim, or maybe try to get down all the way to leave an angle to open this little cluster up.
Well, you might do it now. I mean, there's the 14 nearby. Well, the 13 does go, so if he plays a 13 here, softly bumps the 15, he's guaranteed to be on the 14. So this is a way better option than going into them in the previous shot.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Play down for this one, open them up. Safety ball at the bottom there. Oh, has he overcut it? Oof.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure if the 13 really went. Like, sometimes it could look a little bit off, so I said, if it doesn't go, why not go into him straight away? But all good.
Yeah, and I think at the beginning of the rack he looked at it early on, I think, so I think again he had already made his mind up how he was going to tackle this problem. And again, I have to say, Tobias is picking these problems out pretty comfortably.
Well, what most of the people don't realize is that Tobias Bongers is like a 300 ball runner in straight pool. Like, he knows what to do with the cue ball, and he knows about solving the problems, picking those balls that are annoying. So yeah, I mean, listen, we all feel the pressure and we all struggle at times, so obviously he's not always going to play like that, but playing 8-ball, then again, he's a German, plays all games, plays a good straight pool, so you would expect him to play decent patterns. And so far, he's been playing very clean patterns.
Yeah, in fairness, they both have. It's just about who gets the opportunities in the end, Tim, and I think, I'm not going to jinx it, but there hasn't been a ball missed yet, so the score probably reflects pretty good. If it's a dry break, it's a reverse clearance. If it's a ball down, it's a run out, right? That's the level that we're at right now.
Yeah, so 4-3 it is for the German. Stealing that rack basically after the break from Maciel, and has a chance here to maybe extend that lead to 2 games.
Yeah, he'll be looking to see what he can do, but just while we're looking there, this arena, as you can see, what a fantastic setup from the team. Predator team, the production team, everybody involved in this arena. 28 tables in this venue. Matches are running all throughout the day. Mix of disciplines across the men's, the women's, youth, juniors and wheelchair events will be all in action over these next few days. Plenty of pool left. We still have the 10-ball finals to come later today, and then also we have the 9-ball still to kick off in the next day or so. So plenty of action, Tim, but back here, Tobias hopefully looking to get another break and run here and get something moving.
Well, don't forget, there is one more event actually. Well, 2 more events actually, because there's the teams event and the Euro Tour following after this European Championship, so...
Yes.
Wow, he's found a spot.
Yeah, that's a good break. Yes, the teams, missed the teams, my apologies. Teams is also running. And then, yeah, obviously Euro Tour coming on the back of that. 2 weeks of pool. Very, very good stuff. And the Euro Tour is in Estonia, in the same venue, in the same location, so that's also quite handy.
Oh, this layout is looking really good too. Now, there's always, like I said, there's always a ball here and there that is a little bit tougher to get to. So let's see what that ball could be. Maybe angle-wise to get something after the 9. Like if he can make the 9, he will have angle on the 11. So what about he shoots the 9 now and stunts from the 14 to the left to the 12, I feel. Yeah, I like that. That's clever. That way he doesn't really have to bother running into the 3 or trying to play a precise shape. It's guaranteed to have angle.
Yeah, I like that too. The less amount of times you have to bump into balls, the better it can be. I think that's the terminology used. A clean run out is always more advantageous. Otherwise anything can happen, as you know, when you're bumping balls. So try to avoid it at all costs unless it's absolutely necessary. But again, everything looks pretty good now. Get rid of these 2 balls on the right side maybe. You can leave that one on the rail for the end. I think the black goes past the red as well, 3 in the middle, so he's got a few options on how he wants to take these out.
Yeah, I'm saying I would make the 13 and then from the 11 go to the 12, because the 13 kinda brings you straight on the 11. But now again he has a good angle on the 15 to do the same thing, go 1 rail towards the 11.
Yeah, I kind of like leaving the one on the stripe on the rail, the long rail for the end. I think that makes sense given where that, like you said, that 11 ball is. Just to run through with the black ball waiting, a little bit of a draw stroke on that one, and Yeah, this is top quality stuff, Tim, we're having here for the morning matches.
Yeah, I would say Martial in trouble after that dry break, hanging up a couple balls. I mean, I've seen crazy matches in the last years at the European Championships in 8-ball especially, just because... Oh, this is interesting. He's probably stunning over to play the 8 in the left center. Just because the break has been so crucial. Like, I've seen matches where there were like 7-8 breaker runs each, like 6-7-8. It's crazy. I lost one match with Ronald Regley. I think I had 6 and he had 7. Like, whenever you start finding that break, you have to clear basically.
Yeah, it's coming down to the lag in the end, Tim. This is the kind of level that we're getting at. If you can find a break, crazy level standard. I mean, 6 and 7, that's just brutal. How did you feel after that one?
Well, I did have a chance to tie it 7 each, and I failed to do so. So it was my own mistake. But yeah, it just shows that even though you play at a certain level, that you're not guaranteed to win. One mistake could be enough on this level. And imagine that match we were both breaking and making balls. Imagine every time you start off with a dry break. That counts as a mistake too. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
A dry break is like similar to giving your opponent ball in hand right after. Like, it's the same thing in 8-ball.
Yeah, it's a good way to look at it, Tim. You're right. I think pretty good white. Oh, he didn't get one on the side though. Is he going to get the 4 railer to save the day? Ooh, wow. And the solids are looking pretty okay as well. Stripes also have an option, but I think solids are the ones here. Tim, at first glance, looks pretty good. Options wise, anyway.
Yeah, the only thing that could be tricky is the fact that he might have to start with the 7-ball. Unless he takes the 1-ball first. I don't mind that. I was gonna say, if he takes the 7 first, he still needs to get up table to do something with the 1. So he's taking care of that. He's shooting the 1-ball first, so he can play all the solids in the bottom side of the table. Well,
bit short though there, maybe.
Land a little bit funny. Has to play. If he catches a full bump on the 4, he should be fine. But doesn't want to put the balls together. Well,
does he have the side option as a safety ball? I'm not sure if he can get through. Yes, he can. Combo maybe.
Yeah. Did land a little bit funny again, but at least the 4-ball is still in the open. Like, if he had tied the 4 and the 9-ball, the 4 and the 14 together, then his run out percentages would drop extremely low. So combination here.
That was a pretty good shot, really. Still a bit of work to do though, where that ball is at the top, but they're all in the open and the black ball is right in the center of the table, which is quite nice because then it gives you a lot more options from whichever ball you want to leave till the end.
Yeah, if he can stay on the high side of the 4. I'm not too sure with this angle. Still has to get above the 10. And then he can go 2 rails forward and leave himself exactly there. Because if you leave yourself that kind of angle, whenever you make the 5, you're guaranteed on the 8. So not too much cue ball work, more natural shape.
Play this maybe pocket speed, Tim. Could play the 8 in the same corner if he wants, but it's okay to hold it in the side. I think just yeah, slightly overcut, but all fine. Weathered the storm there. Yeah, and that 4 railer was the saving day there because it was almost a dry break, but it dropped, and then we have another run. So 5-4. hanging onto the coattails of Bongas. Here he is. So, but like you said last time when Tobias broke, you felt he had found a spot. So see if he can replicate that again and find another ball. He's playing very solid. They both are, to be fair.
Well, imagine if that four-railer didn't drop for Maciel. So he kind of got away there, still making something on the break, and things weren't looking too great at some point, but made it happen. If I were Tobias, I would feel like, you know, I'm solid, basically just stay patient and wait for a mistake from Maciel's side, because I think overall Bongers has been more solid this match.
Yeah, I agree. Seems to have had less problems. Everything seems to have been pretty much as he expected, even when he had to open something. He did it with ease. So he'd be looking for another good solid break here. Cue ball centre of the table. Try and find a couple of balls. Even one. Oh, we nearly lost the white, Tim.
Well, still managed to make the ball on the side, but that was awful close to scratch. I mean, nonetheless, cue balls at the table, made a ball. Overall, no clusters. It's a little bit messy, but no clusters, so has a chance to extend the lead again to 6-4. I think I do like the stripes. Float to 12 in, play the 13 in the top left. As the 13 is not too easy to play right now, cue ball will run into the 7.
Yeah, I like that option. See if you can try and get rid of it without any disturbing of those solid balls. But is he going forward here? He's trying to go round.
Okay, that's interesting. Felt like it was tougher to get on either the 11 or the 10, so chose to go there now.
Yeah, I guess if you can land straight on that 13 and get a pretty straight angle, he could draw down the table for either one of the two stripes at the bottom of the table. So maybe he's taking this one and the 10 now, and then the 13 is going into the 5. Interesting. Sounds a bit risky, that was, I felt, Tim.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I think he might have been trying to just get to the 13. Can't imagine he was trying to play the bump, but if he cuts the 10, could land for the 13 in the same corner if he can hold it. If he can't, still, he might have to play the 13 to the corner and do more with the cue ball. A little shaky there, as you could see, just slightly. It was so tough to hold the cue ball there.
Yeah, I think York's also overcut it just ever so slightly. It was only fine margins, but that also made it run a little bit faster as well. So he's got a little bit of thinking to do here. Not sure if he can play the 13 now and get the cue ball out of that traffic somewhere in the middle of the table. He's definitely going to cannon into this 7 ball, I think, Tim. I don't think he can avoid it.
I'm just trying to see if he can, like, if I can take something from the things he's looking at, but he's now not playing the 13.
Is he going 3 reels here to get on the 13 maybe? No, surely not.
I think he can. He needs to find the window.
Oh, he was trying, you know.
I mean, actually, the little flick of the 2 wasn't too horrible. The only thing I feel here, if you play with top left, you might be in big trouble after. You could find the cue ball into the 1, you could find the 7 again. If you play with draw, I think you might stick the cue ball where the 7 is. I don't think you can get the cue ball out.
Maybe he's just missing it. No, he's played it off the 7. It's not a bad result, Tim. That's a good shot.
off the 7, off the 4, and shape on the 15. It's not out of the woods yet. Still one bigger shot here, bigger stroke to get back to the left side of the 8.
Yeah, stunning down for the 8 on the side might be not a bad option. You might have to put a bit of a stroke on it, like you say. Played it well though. Again, managed to solve the problem and get another one on the board, Tim.
Yeah, break a run. As you can see, he knows he was a little bit lucky also on the break. The break and the run out weren't the best, but it's about him getting over the finish line and definitely putting or keeping the pressure on Martial.
Yeah, sometimes an ugly run out still classes as a run out, Tim. Point is a point. Doesn't matter how you get there, sometimes you just got to get there, and you've done pretty well there. So Martial here with a break really needs to continue the trend of breaking and running if he can. To white.
Oh,
gets a lucky ball in it.
Yeah, as you can see, the second that cue ball goes to either side, you see the balls tracking to the side pocket are not there anymore. So fortunate to make a 4 still on the break, and a little cluster with the 1-9. So I'm interested in going for the 14 here, possibly the 7-14 combination, and drawing the cue ball into. Oh, the one, no, 7-14 is a little bit off. I can see now. You need to find a way to open up the 1-9 as soon as possible, and if you go for solids, the 7 doesn't go past the 14, and the 1 is closed up. So I do like the stripes.
Yeah, and having a ball near the side pocket does give you some options to open that 1-9 mix, but he might have to take it rather trickier open. He could take, yeah, he's got a few options. Maybe he takes the 11. Yeah, I like this shot.
Yeah, I don't mind the 15 here. And I think if he can get near the left long rail, possibly off this 10 or 10-12. Oh no, he's going off the 11. I was gonna say could pocket the 14 and go off the short rail into the 1, and always have the 11 as a backup.
Yeah, I like this option just because he has one over the pocket. And oh dear.
Oh.
Got lucky there. 9 in the side. We didn't say that one, Tim, but he'll take it.
Yeah, I have to say, that was quite the roll. Caught the wrong side of the cluster. But he actually needs that little roll at the moment too, because as you could see throughout the match, the break has been a struggle. That is also causing him to stay within this match. So overall, quite a struggle. I'm quite sure that if you would interview him after this match, he's probably gonna say, well, I didn't play so great. My break wasn't working. I have a lot to work on. That's probably the thing he would say.
Yeah, but I think he's been a bit hard if he did say that on himself, because technically he hasn't missed a ball yet. So the only thing you could argue is maybe the break. But this is what you're going to hear from a lot of players, I think, during the 8 ball, because it will all come down to how successful the break is.
Well, are you really competitive if you're not complaining about the break on an 8 ball tournament? Come on. It's what 8 ball is all about. I mean, unless you're playing like the bar table 8 ball kind of style, then I could understand you probably lost the shape. So then it's probably complaining about the rails or the break. But no, it's a very common, not complaint, but a very common issue. Not making balls on the break and losing the match just because of that.
Yeah, exactly. She just landed a little bit awkward here.
I thought so too. As you can see, he's jacking up. That's the thing. His shot making is great. So even though he lands a little bit funny here and there, he still can manage a lot. Still was important. I mean, one mistake could have been 7-4 and pretty big problem. Now it's only 6-5. Pressure rising. I mean, I know it's the opening match in the 8-ball division, so the loser will have to go through the loser bracket. But it's not like the loser of this match is out, so still opportunities. I also feel like the early matches, players, they go into them a little wilder because they know they have 2 shots at qualifying, and whenever they get to the single elimination, their style changes a little bit. They get a little bit more cautious about things, which is natural, but yeah, I mean, it's not guaranteed to play the same way if you do so.
No, exactly. The winner's side is of course much more favourable for all players. But the good news is that it is double elimination at the moment. Until the last 64, I believe, Tim. I will actually double check that. It was the last 64 in the 10 ball, so I'm pretty sure it will be the last 64 also. Yeah, last 64.
I kind of felt like this was about to happen because he was hitting the break so square, causing to have good results. And then this is kind of similar to how he was breaking in the beginning of the match. Quite the overcut, the ball's not tracking to the sides, and then now a chance for Maciel to bring it 6 each and him breaking.
Yeah, and all of a sudden this could turn, this match could turn very quickly, and these balls aren't too bad either. Even the ones down the bottom of the table, they have pockets.
Yeah, there's plenty of availabilities. I just think I believe it was the 12 ball. Yeah, the 12 ball might not go in either corner, so that's why he's looking to go 2 rails to play the 12 in the bottom right. From this view, you see the 12 does go to the bottom right, so he's going directly there. If he gets straight on this, I'm surely expecting him to bring this match 6 each. Could also shoot the 10 first, go up, then play the 12 and the 13, so 3 balls in the same corner.
Yeah, good call. He's taking that now. I'm wondering if the 12 goes in the bottom left. It doesn't go in the bottom left, surely. No, he's playing it now. So yeah, good call, Tim. Be playing these 3 balls in the same pocket and then finishing off with 1 on the side. With the 8 ball waiting.
Yeah, and then just slide draw to get straight on the 15. We're 6 each. We're tied for good opening match of the day. It's very promising for us. We've got plenty more action to come. Hopefully we have a lot more exciting matches like this.
Yeah, it's been interesting stuff so far. Be nice to see a little bit of drama. Not that I want to encourage. I say drama, 6-6 is drama. But it's nice to see how they handle coming to the last couple of racks. Hasn't really been any need for any safety shots, clearly. It's been all break and run or reverse clearances. Do we feel this will continue for the next couple of racks, Tim? What do you think? Will we get a safety break or some kind of, I don't know, something else happening? Or what's your take on these last few racks?
I gotta say, with how the tables are tapped, the balls they rack like near perfect or perfect, you don't really get to see so many safety breaks unless someone really feels like, I can't run out at the moment, let's just make it a struggle. But if you feel like, man, just give me an open open chance, I will run out anyways. You gotta go for the run out. Like, you gotta stick to something aggressive.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. He'd be looking to capitalize on that opportunity with the break and run here for himself. Get himself on the hill, which maybe a short while ago we didn't think was going to be the case. We thought Tobias was going to be just running. We lost the cue ball a little bit, but he's got 2 in the side. Wow.
Yeah, difference this time is he put actually quite more pop on the cue ball there. So it didn't just track past the side, it popped and then tracked past the side. So the energy on the balls going towards the side was a little bit more. Now, great chance to take the lead here. I mean, he was down basically all match.
I'm wondering if he can disturb that 2 straight away here, possibly, Tim. Got an okay angle, I think, to make a traction towards that little cluster if he wants to. Yeah, a little bit.
Well, looks like he's playing this. Just gotta be careful not to push other balls. Oh. I think he was trying to leave himself angle on the 6 to open up the 2 and have a better possibility of how the balls would spread. He might still have to, like, he might have to force this, has to touch the 15 in some way. He's looking at doing that on the 1, but it got tricky. After the first ball he made, things got slightly tricky.
Yeah, and if he does go for it from the 1 ball, if he doesn't get on the 1 ball, then he's running out of options. So I like your shot selection now. It's not ideal, but could he just punch this 6 ball in and just open something? No, he's trying the 1, so he needs to get this right. Yeah, he's played it guaranteed. I think he's tried to leave it. He's gone too low here. Can he flick the top stripe away and still have a shot on the 4? I don't know.
Oh, and he's missed that little cluster, Graham. This could be big trouble. I don't think he can check off the short rail to go into him. Can he play for a possible bank on the 2?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, we want a drama. We definitely have it. Yeah, I'm not sure what options he has here, Tim. You can't check it in. Don't think it will bite enough. The bank might be a good call. He's tried. Oh. Well, has he got a cross bank? I don't know if he has. Be a bit of an ambitious one. Okay. Don't know if it's possible.
This is the beauty of 8-ball. The 2 off the 15, bank in the side. But he's just playing the regular cross corner. I mean, might be a little easier, but I just wanted to throw my fantasy out.
Well, he's going to have to do something.
Oh, it's not there. Chance for Tobias. Oh, that's the 2-12. Nope. It's a chance to get on the hill first, and he's breaking. So, like I said, usually in these matches, it's not just only run-out pool. There's always one thing that happens to where it decides who's going to be the winner, yes or no. It's either one not managing to run out, or one scratch on the break, something like that.
Yeah, but this is a great chance for Tobias to get on the hill here, Tim.
Yeah, I would like to go to the 12 as soon as possible. It's not a ball you want to leave till the end. Very difficult to get the cue ball out. For example, to get from the 12 to the 8 is something you definitely wouldn't want to do. So I don't mind if he goes from the 15 to the 13 right now. Like, then get yourself straight on the 12. Make sure you leave the 14 there, so you always have something from the 12 to the 14. Or you could even take the 12 first and then 13, 14, 11. Just stay away from bumping the 2. So you see a little bit tricky layout because he's having to go back and forth quite a bit. He's also making sure that nothing phony happens on this 12. No, did he land straight? Don't think so. I think he's fine to stun over maybe a diamond. Just a little straighter on the 11 will do. Just looking to go 7-6 bongers. Actually didn't expect that after pretty good chance for Maciol. First real mistake in this match after 12 games. Straight in on the 8, 7-6 for the German, and breaking to continue his road through the winner's side of the bracket. Now, Bongers, his last break wasn't the best break, so it's not a guaranteed that this break will be a match-winning one. Definitely somewhere in the back of his mind he will think about missing that break earlier on. But the best thing he can do is to just focus on the now, the opportunity he has here to get it done, and try your best to produce the best break you can make. I mean, don't dwell too long on the past.
Quick update on the other side, Tim. Max is 7-5 up against Kaspar Matikanen right now, so he is on the hill and closing in on a first round victory there. Whilst we come to the conclusion of this match, huge break here, Tim.
Oh, there's more drama. There's more drama in the tank.
It was meant to be. I think 7-7 was destined. You could just see it going that way, I think. But yeah, huge clearance opportunity now for Maciol.
I mean, I just don't think he can complain. He put a good energy on it, but the cue ball was tracking towards the long rail straight away. Yeah, then you're kind of playing with fire, and like you said, this would basically make it one mistake each overall throughout the match. If we're not counting the dry breaks in mistake list, this is a really mistake, like Maciol not running out last game. And still tricky. The 6 ball doesn't go past the 12 in the corner, but also the 9 doesn't go past the red 3 ball in the top left corner. So anyhow, we'll have to bump something to make a run out possible here.
Yeah, but I'm sure I'd be glad just to be at the table with that chance. I have to say, I wasn't expecting a scratch from Tobias, but like you say, the white ball had been thinking about it, so maybe, like you say, it was probably just only a matter of time. But there's a good chance here, even though there's a little bit of work to do.
Let's see, the thing I was wondering actually, I was considering playing, what did he just play? The 4 on the side, cutting the 7 ball in and running into the 8 or 6, knowing that you have either the 1 or there's another ball on the bottom left, the 1 or the 5 as a backup. The longer he waits to get something on the 6, or does, I mean, the 6 might go in the bottom left. I just didn't think it did. If the 6 does go, then for sure you had to go solids.
Yeah, it's tight from this angle, but it might just go.
Well, then in that case, I like to go 1, 7, 6 and bump the 8 just over a notch. And then you're guaranteed to be on the 5. Tap the 5 in, 8 in the right center. Because the 8 also doesn't go in the bottom right, so it doesn't hurt to give it a small tap. Wow, finesse shot there.
I wonder if he plays the 1 next Tim and then plays the 5 ball and goes around the back of the 8 ball. Oh, he's bumped it. Yeah, good call. We have a hill match coming here, Tim, I think.
Yeah, only 2 mistakes overall in the whole match. Like I said, I'm not counting the dry breaks. I mean, a dry break is always possible to happen. It's kind of random at times. But definitely the failed run out last game from Maciel and the scratch on the break from Bongers, I do count those. So 2 mistakes in this match and we're tied at 7. 1 game to play, and we'll find out to see who goes through the winner side of the bracket. Definitely someone's going to be not so happy to draw the loser of this match in the loser bracket.
Yeah, 100%. This is what happens when you have a very exciting, tough first round match. Somebody does have to lose. That is the nature of the game. Yeah, definitely someone you want to avoid. It's been a pretty solid match overall, and probably fair to him that it goes all the way given how they've both played. I think it's probably a fair result. Oh dear. Great cue ball. However, not what he wanted.
Yeah, and first look at the table. Not looking too bad. If he's looking at going the solids, then I would like to get the 1 ball out as soon as possible. So 1 does go in the left center. So if he plays 5, 6, 1 in the left center, leave the 3 ball there. 3 ball is quite available, so it's not a ball I need to get rid of as soon as possible. As you can see, he's trying to get on the 1 as soon as possible.
Yeah, I think if he can move these 3 balls left at the top of the table and get down nice on that 2, then those remaining 2 solid balls next to the 8 ball are just perfect to close the match out. So a little bit of puzzling at the top of the table will be his goal.
Extension.
Yeah, I think he's going a little bit to the short rail on this angle, so I'm not sure if he can get on the 1 here, Tim. Will he have to go forward? Yeah, I think he was looking that way.
Yeah, he's looking to go to the right side of the 12 ball. I think he's got perfectly. He might even be able to draw the cue ball away from the 10, like where he's pointing now. So just the shot from the 3 to the 2, speed-wise, is the only thing I could imagining going wrong unless the pressure gets to him.
Yeah, and I think for simplicity, if you can hold for the 2-ball in the bottom left corner, for me that's the best option to minimise cue ball travelling. And then if he can land straight on the 2, Tim, he's got a stop shot pretty much for the match, I would say.
Yeah, great match. Really very entertaining morning. For me at least. Hopefully everybody back home finds this match as entertaining as I do.
Yeah, it's been great. I think it's a shame we say this, but it's a shame somebody has to lose on matches like this when really there hasn't been anything missed. This is the nature of 8-ball, unfortunately. It's always harsh to lose on a dry break, Tim. You would just love to have a chance to win the match, but I guess you could also argue your break is the chance to win the match as well, and if you don't pot a ball, then you pay the price.
Well, I don't think he can only blame the break. Of course, if the break has been a little better, he could have won, but he also had that one run out where he didn't run out. And he's only 1 game short, so 2 sides of the coin. The break and 1 missed run out opportunity. Well, has to shoot the 7 to the corner, so I'm not gonna say that really cost him the match. Let's wait till the 7 drops, but yeah, nice shot there. So definitely some work for Maciel to do while he's going to run through the loser bracket. Has to work a little on his break. And it is Tobias Bongers who advances.
There we go. Bongers wins 8-7. Tough luck for Daniel there, but there is some positives, but obviously you'll have to regroup and go through the loser side. Tobias moves on to the winner's side. My name's Graham Hickman. Thanks, Tim, for the commentary. We'll be back. There's matches all throughout the day. Next match will be coming up very shortly on Table 1. And I can see Table 2 has also just finished there, which tells me that Max has probably won. So 2 more matches coming very shortly. Hope you can join us again. Thanks for joining.
Premium? Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, you have so much spin and
I don't have to, hit hard to put a lot of speed.
yeah.
And also ignite shot.
Yeah, really, really nice. When I see when you play, and the sound is really smooth.
Still losing, yeah. I have to take your hit. Sorry, you play
Good luck, you too.
No, hybrid is also very nice.
directly. Okay? I'll do the shot clock. So, which means for every shot you have 35 seconds, and when it's 25, I say time, and it means you have 10 seconds more. If you need, and if you want, you can use extension, but it's only once every rack, which is 25 seconds more. And if you still don't make shot in time, when it's 15 seconds, I say time again, it means another 10 seconds left. And if you cannot, of course, the foul.
After the break, it's not double.
After the break shot, it's 60 seconds. Okay. And when you want to use extension, please say it a little loud, the moment they tell us we have to stop and we go for the end. Devam edebilirsiniz ama söyledikleri an bırakın. Hemen şey yapmamız lazım, başlamamız lazım. Canlı yayına ona göre ayarlayıp bize söyleyecekler. Bu arada gerekli malzemeleri al.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome here. We're back again, day 5 of 11 in Tallinn, Estonia for the Epbf Predator European Championships. Kicking off 8-ball matches this morning. So getting a new discipline out of the way. We've had straight pool and 10-ball in the mix over the last few days, but today, this morning, it's all about the 8-ball, and we will have the 10-ball finals later on this afternoon. What a match we have this morning. One gentleman who doesn't need any introduction at all, Mr. Albin Ocean, is joining us versus Saki Kantalar from Turkey. We're in for a very special treat here, and Albin has joined us. I believe he's been away doing an exhibition in Indonesia with his countryman Max Lechner. That's why he missed the straight pool and the 10-ball, but he's here for the 8-ball. My name is Graham Hickman. I'm here with Gethin Davies, and we'll talk you through this 8-ball match as it unfolds. Gethin, welcome. How are you?
Well, thank you, Graham. Yeah, I'm fine. And actually, I was still a bit buzzing from the last match that we had on the TV table with the man you just alluded to, Max Lechner, while we just watch Albin break. Well, good spread. Oh, the 9 crept in. But yes, we were watching Max Lechner play on the TV table against Kasper Matikainen, and we had a thriller. It had every indication of going hill-hill, and sadly, with one failed shot, Max took the kill and took the win 8-6. And I think Albin will be looking for a point to prove if they're just coming back from an exhibition together.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, sometimes people's schedules don't line up. They obviously had prior commitments, but this just shows the dedication to pool for these guys, flying from Indonesia over to Tallinn for these championships. And yeah, after a great start from Max, Albin will be looking to do the same. You mentioned the hill thriller. That's what I came through in the first match of this morning. Was Daniel Maciol from Poland against Tobias Bongas, recently crowned straight pool champion a few days ago. That one went all the way to hill. Unfortunately, it was a dry break from Maciol and cost him the game.
Wow.
With, I think you could argue, maybe one mistake or 2 mistakes in the whole match. Nothing. It was break and run or reverse clearance. But back to this match. Yeah, Albin clearly on paper strong favourite against Saki. He's no stranger to the big stage. He's won everything in the game, from world titles to European titles, global titles, and he will definitely be one of them to watch this week.
Yeah, and I think Albin will be looking just to get some TV table time and get used to the cloth and the run of the balls as quickly as possible. These Predator Arc tables have been playing immaculately, but as you mentioned in your intro there, it's day 5, and the tables will start to play a little differently. However, Albin is playing his first match, so he will not be daunted at all or have had any expectations from playing on the tables over the last few days. And he's making short work of this.
Yeah, no hanging around. I think this game is very common. A lot of the strong Europeans, a lot of the Europeans are very strong in 8-ball. You see that very comfortably picking their patterns.
Yeah, and as I was talking with Mark earlier, you'd think 8-ball would be a lot tougher because of the nature of having more traffic on the table, but these guys seem to just make it look very easy, and that comes with good control of the cue ball and consistency. But we were so impressed with how they make it look so easy.
Yeah, I think with 8-ball, you think there's a lot more traffic, and yes, technically there is more balls on the table, but it also presents getting more options to play different patterns and different puzzles. It's not like the traditional, say, 8-ball, 9-ball, 10-ball, where you have to follow the balls in numerical order. You can choose to put any of your stripes or solid.
Absolutely, and from my perspective, and I think from many of our perspectives, it makes it more interesting from a commentating point of view. You get to look at more options, you get to talk about more options and second guess which way he might go, whereas yeah, you're quite right, we always know which is the next ball he's going to go for in 9 or 10. And let's see what Saki's break is doing today. Oh, he got a
Pretty
good
good.
cue ball, but the one ball knocked the cue ball down.
Yeah, but first glance on his break, Gethin, if he can break like this with a ball and a shot, this is what he's going to need to do to try and tackle Albin, because one thing is for certain, playing these top players, you have to tell them that you're present by running racks and making them feel pressure.
Yep. And while he's thinking about this, it might just be useful to point out a few things happening within our games today. There is a shot clock underway with one extension able to be called by each player. I believe the shot clock's 60 seconds, but I'm sure Graham will correct me on that if I am wrong. And also it's rack your own alternate break, which does keep it interesting for us at home watching.
Yeah, you're correct. Thanks for that, Gethin. Yeah, there is a shot clock, and you're right, it is 60 seconds. However, that is just from the break. After the break, they have a 60-second shot clock. They will be notified 10 seconds before that time runs out, and they can choose to use an extension should they wish. And then after the break, once that has passed, they will then have the 35 seconds for the rest of the remaining part of the rack. He's just calling the interesting shot he's playing here, Gethin. I think he's trying to play one stripe off another stripe to open these balls up, potentially.
Aggressive.
Unless he's playing straight through and trying to flick it. Yeah, he's trying it. What a great shot.
What a shot.
Yeah, but I don't think the 11 ball goes in the top, so he's in a little bit of a pickle here, and we'll need to find some cover.
Well, I would half expect with his aggressive nature to stick the 11 in the middle pocket and run out, but that was a... yeah, I mean, 50-50 shot? I don't know.
Wow, that's this will be some shot if this goes in from that angle. The point is looking very dangerous. Now he's overcut it. And these are the kind of chances that will come back and haunt you in the match. He knows how important it is playing Albin. Saki's no stranger to playing on the tours. He's been around and can play a little bit, so he knows how important that chance was to get one on the board quickly, and Albin will be very happy now. This is the thing with 8-ball as well, Gethin. Once somebody does make a mistake part way through, they run out or towards the end. As you can see now, he has a wide open table with plenty of freedom to run around the balls, Gethin.
Yeah, and that is one of the banes of 8-ball. You can do a lot of hard work, and then with one mistake you can leave no traffic on the table and a much easier pattern for your opponent. And Albin just shaking his head side to side. He's got a decision to make here, and I think he's caught between two. Should just trace through.
Yeah, he's shaking his head. He's overrun that a little bit, maybe. He's still okay, though. This is the thing with 8-ball. You have a lot of options, so even though he's overran it, I'm wondering if he can still get the 4-ball. Not sure if he can. If not, he's got a very thin little bit of a delicate one on the 3. Doesn't really want to play the 1 on the side if he doesn't have to. Yeah, it's a 3-ball.
Will the cue ball be making some moves around the table here, or how soft can he play this?
I think he can just pinch it a little bit aside. Ooh, just okay. 4-ball is fine.
Great camera angle from above. Able to just see that he can see the edge, and a little bit of a shrug.
Yeah, but this is his first game on the table, so the table will be running quick. He's shaking his head in terms of what's going on, but I have to say the table's been playing absolutely beautiful. So this is just him adjusting to the new cloth, new table, the new Predator Arc table. Looks fantastic in this arena. And the arena does look very nice indeed.
Absolutely. And the Simonis cloth doing its job. And again, you know, first match, you always have to adjust. But it's interesting to see Albin's little actions and reactions. It gives away a lot more for us to talk about.
Yeah, but he's just a bit of a perfectionist, as we know. But these mannerisms are not uncommon for Albin. Pretty straightforward. 10 ball, 8 ball here to take a 2-0 lead. Gethin, and I think be interesting. Oh my gosh, that was a commentator's curse. Bit of a snatch on that. Wow, that was incredible.
There was indeed. You pointed that out correctly, and you know, I don't think Saki was expecting to get out of his chair here. If he can nip this one, you know, it might give him the confidence he needs.
Well, one thing is for sure, whenever you miss an 8 ball in the game of 8 ball, you very rarely expect to come back and win the rack. He's a little bit, not sure how much angle he has on this one. Can he go forward of 2 rails and bring it back out, or will he have to draw it down the side? A little bit awkward queuing.
Yeah. Well, interesting. Do you think there was an option there to take the other ball first and just take your outs and then play for a position on the 8? I don't know.
Possibly. I mean, it's not awful here. You can just roll it in, but this is a little bit of a tester. There's a bit of pressure on this early in this match. There's always a tendency to cut this one too thin. I think that's what he's done.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Ooh. There was always the chance of leaving it over the pocket. He just looked like he slid over the top of it a bit there.
Yeah, it's a natural thing to do that. And it's a funny one. Albin, yeah, he could try to play a little bit of a safety if he wants to go close to the 8 ball, but he doesn't want to leave it up and down. Will he try a highlight reel shot here, Gethin?
Are you reading my mind?
Or 2 reels in the top left corner maybe.
I think that's what he's called.
Or crossbank maybe even.
How do you like that?
Oh my gosh. That's incredible. I mean,
that was a mic turn-off moment just so I could guffaw.
That's just, wow. What a shot there. After missing the 8 ball like he did, to then do a nice little steal there. Saki will be absolutely fuming inside there. He missed opportunity huge. Because I can tell you, there's not many times you will see Albin miss an 8 ball like that.
No, I mean, do you think it was just a little too aggressive? I mean, the opening shot was aggressive, and you know, you're right, he had a good break, but I don't know if that's the best strategy against Albin.
Yeah, no, the bottom line is you just have to take your chances, and he did have 2 in that rack from the break off and the miss from Albin. So we've seen before, if you don't take chances, matches can run away with you very quickly, and especially against the top players. Putting them under pressure early is what you need to really try and achieve.
Ooh. Well, the cue ball had a good look at the middle pocket there, but it didn't drop. And I certainly saw one go down off the break here, Graham. What are we looking down the barrel of here?
Yeah, it looks a little bit messy. Generally tends to be the way when you miss hit a break or you don't hit it as flush as you like. There's a few little problems here. Taking the stripes, there is a couple of balls down the table that you could use to open a few things up if you should wish. 12 ball there is down. Yeah, I think he's just looking at what's the most convenient. He doesn't really have, yeah, I think he's going to go stripes really. The 2 solids up at the middle of the table are a little bit awkward, so he's got a bit of work to do here. Just
yeah,
wondering if that ball, sorry, getting that ball at the bottom, is it the 11 ball I think below the black? Wonder if that goes in the bottom right, he can make something move from there.
Yeah, you can. You've been remembering some of the straight pool matches we've been watching.
Yeah, exactly. But also the stripe to the left of the black ball, that also goes in the top left. So you could say that all balls are probably potable, but it just means that the position play is going to have to be very, closely managed.
Yeah, and with the 15 and 8 where they're situated, there is always an opportunity for, you know, potential mistakes when you start running into balls, and there's a few solids around there as well to cause trouble. So you'll be thinking about that, yeah, he's just looking at the angle he wants now on the 12 ball, which is the pink stripe down there. And was he looking at an angle to run into the 1?
No, I think what he's going to do is potentially try and get somewhere in the middle of the table, maybe next to the 2-ish. And I'm wondering if he's going to either it might play on the 15, or he could go 1 rail and hit the stripe from behind. Actually, the shot getting could be, if he just lands on that one in the top pocket, he could probably play a stop shot and not have to disturb anything.
Yeah, play the long one to the corner pocket.
Yeah, potentially. The black's probably something to consider. I'm not sure if it goes clean in a few pockets, so we'll maybe get a better view in a moment. Yeah, he's chosen to try and hold.
Yeah, I think he's got the option of both.
Yeah, I think the black does go in the bottom, might even go on the side as well, getting, so this could be just a little delicate little stop shot maybe here. Maybe even just actually it goes in the bottom left as well, so I think he's playing 1 rail out. Not sure if he can stun it. He might have to go off 1 rail for the black in the bottom left. Well, talk about completing the puzzle. That was incredible. Nice little touch and cue ball control.
That was indeed a puzzle. And
that's the thing. I have to take the chances back to Saki's miss. I think this is what you're going to expect from Albin getting.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, even though it's the first rounds of this EPBF 8-ball championship, European 8-ball championship, you're going to be hitting good players right from the get-go. Of course, you're not expecting to be running into an Albin in the first round, but for me, I'd be excited to be playing an Albin in the first round. It's I relish the challenge. I'm sure you would too.
Yeah, you've got to look at it both sides. It's a good opportunity to test yourself against a good player, or a great player, world-class player. And he's won everything in the game pretty much, so it's definitely nice to be on the TV table playing such a big game, and one you can watch back, hopefully in a positive light. So it'd be good if he can. Yeah, he's breaking really well.
Yeah, second one is done.
And these straight away, first glance, you can take a pick, solids or stripes, but he might lean towards the solids just because of where those 2 stripes are, but personal preference always comes into this.
Yeah, and you nailed it there, Graham. He's had 2 breaks and they've both been really strong. Good balls in the centre pockets, good cue ball control. I mean, that fares well for his tournament.
Yeah, very impressed with those first couple of breaks. And he's taken a bit more of a tricky 5, orange 5 first, to come back across for one of the 6. He's okay.
Yeah, he is.
Don't think the 1 ball passes in the top left, so it's definitely going to have to go in the top right. So it's all about how does he take the 1 now, or does he play? Yeah, he's probably going to take the 1 now.
Yeah.
Might have to maybe draw back the 4 then, back off the rail for the 1.
Yeah, good shout. And then you'll probably look to use the 6 then for position to come down to the 3 here in the right corner. Does he come too far?
He's a little bit straight on the 6, but he's got a little bit he can punch it over, or he can just draw it to the middle of the table a little bit and maybe take the 2. Could take the 2 ball next if he chooses. Yeah, it's pretty good.
I mean, you'd be expecting Saki to deliver here. I mean, if he doesn't, this will just be like Christmas for Albin, so
Doesn't want to be perfectly straight. He's got a little bit of angle, I think, so he can just stun this over for the 7 in the same pocket. Or he could even run through, actually, because I think the black ball depends how he wants to get on the black. It only goes in the bottom right, I think, and also the left side.
Looks like he's put 2 extensions on there, Graham.
Wow. It's a bit of a stretch, this one. So yeah, he's going to roll it through.
Yeah, you don't want to do too much with the cue ball here. You'll be asking for trouble, so... Yeah.
He's still okay. Probably a little bit touch more angle than you would have wanted, I think, judging by that angle. I think he can still pinch it and play the 8 in the side. That's probably where he's going. Doesn't want to do anything crazy here.
Yeah. He played that with good speed. Always a danger of running too high there.
Yeah, nicely done.
Very well done, and Saki brings it back to 3-1 and stops Albin from running away with it. And Graham, having been to Turkey, I know that 3-cushion billiards is very popular over there, and it really spawns a lot of great technical Turkish pool players when they cross over. I've been really impressed with the quality of Turkish pool players coming into the European Championships. Do you think Saki could mount a little comeback here? You think Albin is going to give away anything? He's tight, huh?
Yeah, it's a good call. I mean, there's a lot of talent coming from Turkey. I think Mark was talking about this a little bit just the other day. I think the hardest part is playing in Turkey. You don't have the luxury of being so close to a lot of big, maybe local practice partners if you're in mainland Europe, you know, with Germany and France and all these guys on the doorstep. They have to do a lot of travelling from Turkey to kind of get in the mix. But yeah, for sure, there's a lot of good players there. Is there a comeback on? Well, for me, it all comes down to the break, and in full transparency, it's all about how Albin really turns up, because if he breaks well, he's going to probably run the balls, and you don't want to get in any kind of safety plays with Albin, which is very much uncommon now in 8 ball. It's just more break. Oh, he's lost a cue ball. There you go.
There you go.
Crazy. Full tilt on a break there.
If we keep talking, Graham, we could create our own fireworks here, I think.
It's interesting, Albin there just kind of threw the cue ball on the table in disgust. I mean, it was a complete mishit. But we're only like 3-1 in this match, and if Saki can actually punish him for it, then that's what he needs to do.
Yeah, you know, Albin's been doing a lot of travelling, time zones. He could be feeling it a little, and if he was hoping to just run away with it, I think Saki's got other ideas. But it will be interesting to see how he reacts to small mistakes like that. And we will also see if Saki will turn it into a big mistake. So
yeah, he knows full well that these opportunities you have to take, so he'll be giving it full focus. He decided to go for the stripes, which is not a bad choice. There's a little bit of a cluster of 4 stripes down the bottom corner, but the way they're lying, it's not awful. And that pink 12 ball, I think, does go past the 8 in the side, and well, both side pockets and the bottom corner, so he's got a few options.
he's really reaching here.
Yeah, I think you put 3 extensions on that one, Gethin.
Well, you know, he's got a similar situation where he has the last rack where he had 3 balls tucked down in this corner, and he took them really well.
Yeah, it's just about. So this 14 ball, he's just going to pot this and maybe probably come on the inside of the 2 down the long rail. Not sure if he'll try to play into space. He's got more options. Maybe he comes 2 reels for the 10, but yeah, he's choosing to come 2 reels and out. Has he found the gap? Yeah, he has. Pretty good. I don't know if he can pinch this a little bit and hold for the 12 in the side. I'm not sure if he can. Might be able to. No, he's decided not to. He's on top of the black. So it's getting a little bit tricky now. He needs to really dial in on these last couple of balls. So I'm wondering if he's going to, judging by the way he's getting down quick, Gethin tells me he's playing the pink 12 in the right side, I think. Drop this one in. Yeah, that's what he's playing.
Or maybe not now. Maybe he's thinking he uses that as his key ball.
Yeah, it's his last ball. I was off the 10 ball here, back into the middle of the table. Trying to leave it perfectly straight in the side would be perfect.
Yeah, this will show us how his cueing is at the moment. I don't think he could have asked for better.
It's pretty good. Just needs to make sure he gives this every attention, because camera angles can be a bit deceiving into those side pockets. You want to make sure you go on the far point, stay away from that right side of the pocket. He's got a lovely angle there. Great shot by the cameraman. Lovely done.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not rushing, he's taking his time, Graham, and he's delivering.
Yeah, and like you said, can he have a comeback? Can he give Albin a match? Well, if he wants to give Albin a match, he has to do exactly this. You have to punish him for his mistakes. Yeah, 3-2 at the minute. Could have been 3-2 the other way around based on that 8 ball that Albin cross-banked. So,
and if anything like fatigue is coming into play from Albin's perspective, I think Saki keeping him in his chair now and making a good break, and you know, it could all start to play a role in how this match will shape out. We'd both, well, I'd like to know that it's not over yet, and it certainly doesn't look like it.
No, Saki's basically said, I'm not going anywhere. So I think what he's looking to do is replicate that really good first 2 breaks that he had, and just try to keep that cue ball straight down the middle, and hold it in the middle of the table and make a ball.
Our Aramith balls. Looking freshly cleaned, ready to go.
So he's looking to just replicate, try and get them 2 stripes, the 9 ball and the 14 ball in the side.
Ooh.
We've got a lucky kick in. He'll take that though.
Yeah. The one that was going in the side got a kick out the way, I think. So, and I think that was the one that ended up going in the corner.
Yeah,
he's still there.
Solids, I think. I've only seen the table for a moment, so yeah, probably solids. Well, I say that if that stripe at the bottom of the 8 ball does go in the bottom right, there's options, but you've got the 2 ball on the side rail blocking, so yeah, I think solids make more sense. Has to do something with this 8 ball at some point.
Yeah, he does have the 4 ball close to it to maneuver for, but yeah, that 8 ball is well stuck in with them 2 stripes, so he's maybe a bit of chalk on that.
Yeah, he'd like to get rid of this 5 ball, I think.
Yeah,
he's going to have to have a plan here, because I think this, yes, the 4 ball is near, but he wants to try and disturb the black with some kind of guarantee after, so let's see how he chooses to go for these.
Yeah, and as you saw there from the overhead angle, that 8 is very tricky. This is going to be a key shot now.
I'm trying to see where he's going to go here, I guess, and he must have a plan in his mind.
I think he has to just go through a bit here and not take the 2.
I'm half wondering if he's going to try something off the 6 ball with a bit of power, unless he's going to play. Well, maybe the 4 does go on the side, very tight. He's trying to go here, maybe off the reel.
We're blessed with these great camera angles. It really puts the guessing work out of it.
Yeah, but he's going to put a bit on this, so he's going into the 8 ball here. That's what he's tried, and he didn't like that shot at all. So it was a very strange way to go for it.
Yeah.
He's got
I think if he can see the 4, if the 4 passes, I think it's too much angle to nudge into the stripes. So he might be looking at the 7 now, and I think that might be. I don't know. Could you get enough spin to come off this cushion off the 7?
I don't think so.
No.
I think he's going to have to try to play maybe on the 2 ball here and put all his eggs in one basket and do something off the 4 ball.
Yeah, and like you said, it's starting to run away a little bit, both position and the pattern, so...
Yeah, he's tried to play a 2-way shot there, which is pretty good. He's landed pretty good on this 4, but this was a problem for me. The shot that I do see Gethin, if he can take the 2 ball now, he might just be able to do a little bit of a draw shot, not go too far. Kind of bring the cue ball in between the 9 and the 12. Just leave it around about there. Doesn't want to come back too far, but maybe he can have an angle to go into the 8 ball from up there. That might be a shot. Oh, he's missed the 2.
Yeah.
I would have put my house on him potting that. Incredible. He left it where
And
I
I
thought.
Yeah, exactly. You nailed it where he's left it, and you know he would have been putting his eggs all in one basket, but that would have been his best opportunity to close it out. Oh, he'll be disappointed there, Ben.
Yeah, that 2 ball was pretty straightforward. I have to say, he was thinking probably so much on the angle of the 4 just to leave a shot. And this is where you don't want to leave Albin, because he will tie you in knots if he can, if he needs to. But I'm just wondering if that orange 13 at the bottom, does it go in the bottom right? I don't know.
Well, if it doesn't, he's going to have to do something with it, and he's got no other balls close to it to make an easy run into it, so we could see something extraordinary happening here. Is this the angle now? Would he try and punch it in so he knows he's got the 15 as backup into the centre pocket?
Possibly, yeah. I think unless it goes, like you say, if it does go, his pitch has he got there? Yeah, he's fine. So
oh, well done,
can't
Graham.
get it up, and then that opens everything up. So you might want to come back up and get rid of these balls up on the left side. Might even play for this 12 now, Gethin, and then leave an angle on the 15 to go across the table. Yeah, like he's thinking, he's probably going to roll this in, just bump it off ever so slightly and play the 15 in the bottom left and have a natural angle to drift over to the right side of the table. That's how I would see it.
Yeah, that's a good shout. He does need to do as you say, just pop it off the cushion a bit.
Yeah, just leave a bit of angle. As best as he could have done, really, and just stun it over kind of the middle diamond and out. Doesn't want to be too low on this ball though, because he doesn't want to run into the black if he can avoid it. Yeah, he's got plenty of space.
And he's got options, but he'd probably prefer to take it in the opposite corner. In the other side.
Yeah, you go around. Just to avoid any danger with that 4 ball, it was a smart option to go this way.
Yeah, exactly. And giving him the angle gave him the opportunity to do that. And Albin has stopped the comeback from Saki. Brings it to 4-2. And it's Albin's break, I believe. That was against Saki's break. So
Yeah, I would have to say it's a bit of a missed opportunity there, Gethin, I think. Well, it definitely was.
Yeah, I agree. And could be pivotal. As we look over at the other TV tables here at the Kalivi Sports Hall, a lot of action going on. We have 2 TV tables brought to you on Pro Billiards TV. If you're enjoying the stream, please like and subscribe and share. And I also found out that you can notify when the matches are coming on. which I found a useful tool yesterday. And today's matches are kicking off as we're watching now with the 8-ball. However, we will have the 10-ball finals this evening, and I believe they kick off the finals themselves at 6:30, but we do have the semis to play first, and it looks like Saki's taking a break, so I will just have a quick check at the other tables to see if there are any highlights from scores. But a friend of the commentating booth, Alex Montpellier, went through earlier today, which was good to see. And I will have a look at the updated scores and see what we have going on. But yeah, looks like Saki's taking a break here. Not a bad time to take a break. Albin has to sit in his chair a bit longer. It'll just break any momentum that was threatening.
Yeah, thanks, Gethin. You were just mentioning about the other matches there. The other match on table 2 is Ales Mandic against Dennis Grabber, the local hometown hero. His hometown is Tallinn, and he's 5-2 down at the moment. That'll be an interesting one to maybe catch back and watch that to see what's happened in that match, because Dennis has been absolutely fantastic these first few days in straight pool and 10-ball, looking very, very strong indeed. So going to catch that one back in a later stage. Well, that's what you call an 8-ball break right there, Gethin. Absolutely smashed it. Full power. Good control of the cue ball. Did get bumped a little bit, but wow, he put 3 solids and a stripe. But funny enough, he doesn't actually have an easy opener. He might have to take the 13 here on the stripes. I'm not sure if he really fancies the combo. It's the only shot he's got on. It's so funny how this game does that to you. You have a phenomenal break, but you don't really get an easy opener with all the balls on the table.
No, it's frustrating to say the least.
Sometimes just one good shot can make all the difference. So it's a big shot here on this rack already. It's a little bump. He's caused a problem. It's not what he wanted.
No, it's not. And with the 10 where it is, he could do with a good ball to get shape on that. I think from the overhead view that we just had, the 10 is only available to one of the corner pockets down there, so that limits his options. A brave shot would be to put this in the centre and open this cluster up, but I think that would be a bit too aggressive.
I'm not sure he's got the angle for that. It's a bit thin, so he's going to have to try something a bit special here. But he's playing quick, so maybe he's decided on something. He's going to try to do a deep draw and open these 2 balls up. Have to play it pretty slow and controlled. Oh, what a shot this is.
Oh wow, he's come out beautiful from that.
Yeah, that was a very well judged shot. Very well. He still has to get a little bit of... Oh, he's a bit frustrated because he has got a funny angle, but it's not that bad. He could just roll the 9 ball through and just run ahead of the stripe and play it in the side, yeah, and exactly round about there, and just then run down the table, so it's not too bad. He couldn't have asked for much more from opening the balls, to be honest.
And is that just because he's fallen a bit straighter than ideal, or is that because of where the 14 is positioned?
Yeah, I think he probably would have liked to have maybe stunned it over to the right side of the table a little bit, played the 14 in the same pocket as the 9. Maybe he might still try that. No, it's not a good shot. Don't know how that... He wants to be off the rail. Might have to jack up a little bit, yeah.
Well, he's got to come down this side of the table to play the 10 into the bottom right corner, because that 7 is just blocking it to the other corner, and this is why he's come this side of the 14. Let's see. Ooh, it didn't drop, Graham. It didn't drop.
No, I think that was self-inflicted a little bit by leaving the cue ball on the rail. He had to jack up somewhat. Yeah, he's always harsh on himself. You focus so much on the position, and as you can see, he's perfect. But he has left a chance here.
He has indeed, and again, like the first rack that Saki was able to win, he will be snatching it from a mistake from Albin, and he will not be wanting to let Albin get back to the table here. The balls are situated quite nicely for him.
Yeah, he had to bend that. That's why he was taking a little bit longer on that shot. He got up and down a couple of times. Fair play to him, making sure he got the right comfort level before he hit the ball. But he has left quite a nice line on this one ball, just to maybe go 2 long reels if he wants and go above the ball that Albin left over the centre pocket. Just a little bit of top right, maybe just go 2 reels.
He said that well.
He said that very well. Prime position now. He will leave a nice angle on this 3 to come down the table for choice of 8 ball in preferred pocket, left or right.
Yeah, nice view of his bridge on the cushion there. Can always be a bit difficult, and coming from a bit more of a snooker background, I tend to find that sometimes when they put the cue on the table, it doesn't feel normal to me as he's playing now, but it's the best way to play the shot.
You've got to do what feels most comfortable, and he's played that extremely well. So this will be a good punishing moment. Just needs to make sure he doesn't do anything careless.
No, not at all. Yep. He punched that in with authority, Graham. I think he was listening to you, and I think he understands that was a good rack to steal back. So come after his short break as well, I believe, Graham. So good signs.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's, like I said earlier on in the match, you have to punish when somebody makes a mistake to put the pressure on, and that's what he's doing. And I think now he's got a chance. He has been breaking pretty okay, so he'd love to get a break and run here and tie this up at 4-4. Just making sure they're all tight. The tables are tapped, which means we have a template that goes on the table for those interested or who don't know. There's a very slight, I can say, indentation made in the table, nothing to disrupt or damage the table. It's just like the tiniest of millimeters, and the balls will just sit nicely on the table, so we don't need to use any kind of rack or magic rack as you've seen on the pool scene. This is the way we go.
No, and you can really tell that it works by the way that these guys are breaking.
Bit of a hop, and he's a dry break here.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a sign he hit it too hard, the break, but them 2 balls were still tracking towards the centre bag, but this time they both fell just a little high. So Albin jumps out of his chair, and what's he looking at here?
Got a few little problems. Well, I say a few. He's got something to think about on that 4 ball. 4 and the 12 are pretty close. He's probably just thinking what's the most convenient route to. Yeah, I'm looking here. I think solids could be quite okay. just because of where the balls are.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like the 15 passes the 10, which means he has to be quite particular. I don't even know if he could get the potting angle on the 10 there. They both seem to go into the other corner bag though, which he could get position off.
Yeah, you know what I'm thinking? I'm wondering I wonder if he's thinking of going after this pink 12 straight away. This stripe on the rail. As you see here on the long rail, is he going to draw into this 12 ball straight away and take that problem out? He'd love to catch the 12, kind of flick it, just bring the white ball back. Oh, he's gone full in power. 9 balls, okay, there you go. Problem solved.
Yeah, Mark was alluding to that earlier. These pro players, they don't leave it long into the rack to resolve their problems, and as we saw with Saki earlier, if you don't do that, you start to the ball just starts to run out of position, or you then start forcing things at a point in the rack when it would have been probably better to do it early on. But I guess when you're playing the likes of Albin, you know, you're reluctant to make a mistake.
Yeah, sometimes it's easy, if I can say that like there. Albin had a perfect opportunity just to solve the problem straight away, so it's a natural thing to do, and it makes sense to take it while you have more balls on the table, because then you have more options to pot following solving the problem. But in Saki's defense, I think in those kind of situations, it's sometimes you don't have such a clean-cut opportunity to open the balls, and you've got to try to take it when you can. But I fully agree with you, Gethin. If you can't take it early, it's definitely the right thing to do, and most players look to do that. So I wonder if you can go forward here, maybe go down to the bottom rail and get on that ball near the bottom. You see if the 10 does go? I think it does.
Yeah, do you think he wanted to finish straighter on that 9 and just follow through? Come down for the green stripe there.
Yeah, possibly, but if the 10 does go, maybe he might play for it now, because he has got a bit of a window. He's got a choice. Going forward's probably the safer option. Because he can come around the back, like you said, Gethin, earlier. Both those balls go in this bottom right corner, so he's got a nice angle here just to run through, go to the other side if he wants, or he could cannon into a ball, but I prefer not to if I can avoid it. Just go around the back.
Yeah, well called, Graham. And yeah, the way they were positioned there, they both didn't look very nice for that other corner bag, and he's played that really well to come around this side of these.
I don't know if he can miss the 10 and come straight back up, or does he need to bump into it. Didn't play exactly how he went to plan, but he'll take it. I think he thought he was going to miss it.
Yeah, and I thought the 2 was going to get in the way of this shot. It threatened it, but he's gone away with that.
Yeah, a slower drag with right hand spin. He had to go up the middle of the table. Yeah, I like that shot a lot. It's so easy just to run that behind the 7 and snook at yourself. So a little stretch. Get his extension just to be sure. Little apology there, because he knew when he came off that 10 ball, the little flick wasn't planned. He did get a little bit fortunate, if you could say that, but I think the way he played it might still have been okay. But look, that's the way it goes.
Yeah, and that's a lovely testament to his professionalism as well. You know, the players do know when there's a little bit of the run of the balls that they weren't anticipating and it's gone their way. I do like it when they do that. Just looking over at Dennis Grabber on the other table, the Tallinn home favourite. And it looks like he's potted one off the break there. So Dennis at the table over there. Albin, however, on table 1 against Saki is 5-3 up. And Saki will be hoping to get a visit here, because he will want to reduce this deficit. Albin doesn't need much to get into gear.
This will be a thunderous break, Gethin. I think absolutely powered, full tilt, 100%.
One went straight in.
Yeah, another one. He's going for power. I do like his break. We've seen a few people try to play a little bit more of a conservative, kind of big, solid, firm hit. But I do like the big power break, I have to say. I think it leads to a bit more flamboyancy, but also you give more balls a chance to go in. Lucky kisses, bumps, nudges. I like this break. But on the flip side, if you catch it wrong, like we've seen earlier, the white ball just flew straight into the side pocket, so you have to be accurate.
Yeah, and that's the trade-off. But Albin clearly is feeling accurate enough to give them an absolute wallop. And I've seen apps on smartphones that you can use that it uses the acoustics to tell you how fast you're breaking. I'd be really interested to see the power reading on this one, because that was an absolute clanger.
Yeah, he's putting a lot into it, which is nice to see. He's just thinking here, this 5 ball's a little bit iffy. He could play obviously a combination shot, but it's not ideal. He's trying to find a slot where he can might actually have to play for the combo. He's played the one first.
Yeah.
This played this very well, Gethin, because he could just roll this through a little bit and find that gap just to get a clean shot on the 5. That might be the shot he's thinking here.
He will be threading it through the eye of a needle, but I see exactly what you're talking about. Just rolling forward, a gap between, is that the 11?
Maybe a stun run
The
through
7?
even. Yeah, perfect. Bridging over this 4 ball and 10 ball, but I think he's still okay. Nothing too crazy. He's going to leave that ball over the side, the 4 ball to get on the 8 ball, I think. So get rid of this one, then the 7.
Yeah, that was a critical shot, making that position there. He played it really well up the table. It was on the, I thought it was on the perfect line to keep going, to come round for the 5, but he clearly played for the ball in the left corner pocket and pretty much guaranteed himself shape on that 5.
Yeah, and this is why I think 8 ball is such a great game to watch, because there's so much creativity in terms of making the game look easy, and it all comes down to patterns. It really does. If you know the right way to take the balls out, and it looks very, very easy. As soon as you go something crazy, then you're chasing the rack a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. And from a commentating point of view, all of them options and patterns really gives us a lot more to talk about. I find that knowing in 10 ball which ball they're playing next, you start to focus on specific situations, whereas now, we're looking at much more the holistic patterns of the games and what troubles are in the way, and Albin has to do that while standing at the table and then execute as well. So, full kudos to him. Saki's racking for his break now, facing 6-3 down. What's going to be going through your mind now, Graham?
He's just thinking, I need a good break here. Break and run is what's in his mind, 100%. Needs to take advantage of every opportunity, and the opportunity is to have a good break. I think, in comparison to the power of Albin and Saki, they're both trying to hit it pretty hard. Albin much, much harder. I think Saki's trying to focus much more on keeping that cue ball in the centre of the table. A little bit like a 10 ball break. Trying just to hop it and keep it away from those middle pockets. Yeah, that was a bit softer. And again.
Yeah, a little shrug of the hands there. It was a good camera angle while he was breaking to look at the focus going through his eyes there, and spotting if he was looking at the object ball or the cue ball when he was playing it there. Real focus. But he didn't get anything off. A dry break, as we call it.
Yeah, and this is also a very good break as well, so there's no real clusters or problems. I just don't know if he's got anything other than a solid to shoot at, so 6 ball does go through. Does he just tap the side pocket? No.
Looks like he's going to bank the 6.
That's weird, man. Unless he was tapping to say unlucky. That's strange. I'm not sure what's happened here. Oh, it looked like he tapped the middle pocket as if he was calling something. That's what it is. But clearly not. That wasn't the intention. But
maybe he was telling the table off.
yeah, I think he's probably just saying to Saki, "Hey, good break." And obviously now there's so many options. You've got the 4 ball down here next to the 8, which, to be honest, it would be great to get that out of the way. I wouldn't want to leave that to the last ball unless you actually had to. But maybe that might be his key ball to get on the 8 ball potentially, with everything being up the table.
Yeah, that's a good spot. That 4 ball is tricky, but and if he decides to use it as his key ball for the 8, he's got to be pinpoint with position. So
I'd play it now. I'd play the 5 down now, get in and get rid of this 4, to be honest. Yeah, he's playing it, get rid of that 4, because if he plays the 4 ball and you want it to be a little bit further down, I think, but he can still pot this, hopefully missing this stripe on the bottom rail, and he's got 3 balls to play on up table, so he's okay.
Yeah,
maybe a touch thinner, maybe.
We have as a real pool player in the commentating booth in the form of Graham Hickman, ladies and gentlemen. He is no slouch around the table, and Albin just wanted to prove you wrong.
He did. The reason he did that, I think, is because he was too thin. So he's still going to play that shot at some point. So don't worry, it's coming. I think the 2 ball,
yeah,
2 ball might be his key ball to the 8 ball potentially. But sometimes you have to go a different route because it doesn't work out the way you expect it. So
has he come a little funny?
Yeah, he's going to play 2 ball 4.
He's going to have to play the 2 now. I don't think that's what he wanted, but
back in the same place, Gethin. He's going to have to play it at some point.
I think he has to now. I think the 3 from this great overhead view is not going to pass that 1 ball, and where the cue ball is, he can't see enough of the 1 to pot, so it's now or never.
Serenade the fans, why not?
Well, did he miss? Yes, he did. But how's your pace, Graham?
He'll take that. He'll take that for sure. And he's got a nice line here. If he just plays a stop shot on the 1, I'm wondering if the 3 goes in the side, then it's perfect to roll down for the black.
Yeah, and the black has to go in that bottom left pocket.
I think what you call that is on a 6pence. You couldn't have asked for a better cue ball to stop running. Saki's face there is just telling a story.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, what can you do?
I bet his heart dropped as he was watching that cue ball roll past the object ball there, as mine was. But yeah, on a 6pence, as you said.
Yeah, and it's looking a bit ominous, to be honest. I think, unfortunately, the few dry breaks towards the middle of this match has cost Saki. He missed a ball earlier on. It could have been a little bit closer, but Albin, I've used this line before, Albin does what Albin does. He just punishes you all the time.
And he won't let off, and I mean that's the caliber of these players, and we saw that in the lead up to the 10 ball semi-finals that we'll be having today. There were some brutal performances. However, and you may want to share some views on this, Graham, I think the alternate break is giving it a little bit more of an edge and creating a little bit more opportunity for momentum to shift, and for me that keeps it exciting, and I know for the viewers it does, but I think for the players mentally, you know, they have to, you know, they probably know in the back of their mind they're going to be giving up break to their opponent, and if their opponent's breaking strong, it then pushes you back under the pressure. So Albin,
Yeah. Thunder coming. Oof. Centre pocket.
yeah, with the 10s tracing.
Yeah, if he breaks like this all tournament, then he's going to be a handful. He already is. So the break's going to be key. like you say, the alternate break does give players a chance to hold their own serve and try to still stay in a match. But if you have a couple of dry breaks, as I've seen in the first match with Maciol and Bongas, reverse clearances are quite common as well. So a missed break opportunity, a bit of a miss.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I don't. He's just looking at how much of the 9 ball he can see. It looks like he's done it again. I'm sure he tapped that middle pocket with his cue there, Graham.
I think he was tapping maybe the side of the table he's coming down. Not sure. Is he trying to play on this 1 ball here? I'm not sure. He's trying to check this up. Yeah, he is. If he's got a bit of angle, he's got a choice here. So 3 ball's a little bit of a problem. And that's the 5 ball next to the 15 is a bit of a problem. So
yeah, I think the 5 doesn't come down in this bottom right, Graham, so...
Yeah, I'm wondering if he's going to play on the one next to the 15 now. Yeah, and he can just screw it back down as well. I like this. He's played that very well here. I guess he's going to draw it in between the two stripes there down for the 3 ball, and then leave those 2 balls at the top of the table, the 6 and the 7, I think, to just work his way to the black. So this could be game over right here.
Yeah, he did as you said, Graham, and found the gap. And the benefit of him leaving the 7 and 6 to the end is that the 8 ball is sat down there as well, which is going to make his life a bit easier to get to the 8 at the end of the run.
Yeah, and the good thing is with the 6 and the 7 being so close, if he overran it, he had options. If he was short, he had options. So yeah, you can just, depending on the angle here, you can just draw this back a little bit. Be nice to be straight on the 6. So you can play the black in the top right, maybe. Yeah, just roll this forward.
He's making short work of this, and with him being on the hill, this is the decisive shot. Nicely
done, and that's how it goes with Albin. So a little bit of a shaky start, I have to say, just to get comfortable with the table and the pace. A few mistakes, a couple of dry breaks for Saki, but all in all, Gethin, very good performance from Albin there. Did what he had to do, and he moves on to the winner's side. Saki will go on the loser's side.
Thank you very much, Graham. And yeah, I think Albin's breaks are going to serve him well for the rest of this tournament. And I believe the next matches coming up on the TV table will be in around an hour and a half, if that's correct. If you can go 4 o'clock Tallinn time. So if you
this will be the first semi-finals of the 10 ball. Gethin is what's coming next. So we will have semi-final time on the live streams. And that will be at 4 PM local time. We will be back. Thanks from me, thanks from Gethin, and we will speak to you shortly. Thanks for joining.
Mesela şu son attığı pozisyonda tempoyu hani bir top yarım kat geride kalsa pozisyon